is going on, everybody? Wally here with some more footage from Chiney. Again, thank you, Chiney, for giving me your footage to, I guess, do a commentary on and kind of do fillers because I am without a console. Now, today is the 21st, and I will be picking up an Xbox One tonight at midnight. As well as I know, I think Chiney and a few other people are doing the same thing for my team. So expect to see us streaming tonight. Again, I'll have the links to both Chiney's stream and his Twitter if you guys want to take a look at it. He has been streaming pretty much every day. He's been streaming a lot of the scrims. He's got a pretty active Twitter account too, so check it out and go from there. Now, the information that I want to get into is two things really. The first thing is more or less to do with my channel in general, or this channel in general, and basically what I want to do kind of, and this is more or less up to the people who want to do it, but I want to get footage from individuals. Doesn't matter if you're on my team or a competitive player, I don't care about any of that, but if you want to like give me like just 10 minutes of gameplay that in your opinion is pretty cool, pretty good, and just send it to me on like a Dropbox link, I will definitely download it and do a commentary on it. And in that commentary, I'll do the basics, give you a shout out, talk a little bit about you, and say basically I have to do like an interview. I haven't really ironed out the details, but Poby pretty much gave me this idea. I think I'm going to do his footage next if he gives it to me. But basically my idea is to take the footage that I'm given from whoever gives it to me. So say Rame gives me footage. Now you all know Rame, but like say Rame's not on my team or I don't know who he is. And I go, okay, I need to do an interview process for you. I need to ask you a few questions. Are you a competitive player? If so, do you play for, what team do you play for? Blah, blah, blah. If competitive players want to do that, not saying that they would, but if they did, I'd be more than willing to go through that with them. Be like, what do you want to do with Battlefield 4? What are your favorite maps? What are your favorite guns? What do you think about this? That kind of stuff. And kind of do a little bit of an interview system about it and just be like this, a showcase really of this player. And I want to try to do like one of those every week, maybe twice a week, depending on the amount of players that I can get to do it. Now, my channel isn't very big, but I definitely want to expose more than just myself and my teammates. I want to expose individuals within the community that definitely are willing to help out. And Chiney and a few others have been really like kind of pushing me forward on this idea, giving me footage. And the idea kind of just like, hey, might as well interview individuals that are more than willing to become a part of the competitive community or just the community in general. Like I said, if you're not a competitive player and you want me to do stuff on your gameplay, that's completely fine with me. I don't treat anyone like second-class citizens, especially if they don't play comp. So yeah, take a look out for that. If you want to get in touch with me, message me on Twitter or send me a YouTube. Actually, don't send me a YouTube message because I don't understand how those work. Message me on Twitter or Battlelog. That would probably be the best way to do it. I don't get YouTube messages. They go to Google Plus now, and whatever. I think there's a million videos about how stupid that is, but whatever. I disagree with it. I'm okay with it, but at the same time, I think if it's not broken, why did they fix it? That's my question, but whatever. The second thing I want to get into is, of course, the LvL event itself. Now, we're going into a meeting tonight, today being Thursday. Depending on when I get this video up, the meeting will probably start around 6:30 Pacific, so around that time I'll be in a meeting. Hopefully, if I'm there, I have to get a number for my Xbox tonight, but I plan on being there for that meeting. And in the meeting, we want to go over a few things. Now, since this video is not really up yet, I can kind of like talk about it in a sense, and like if it goes up before the meeting, whatever, not that big of a deal. But I want to give you guys more information regarding the event itself. So basically, I talked about this in one of my videos from, I think, last week. And there's two things really. The first thing is the 32v32 league itself. Now, there's going to be an initial primer of 3 practice games. And basically, these practice games will start whenever we get private servers. So whenever we get private servers, if it's like, say, a Friday, a week from now, that Saturday, we will try, and I stress try, to get a practice game going. Now, the idea is, since there's so many entries, there's up to around 175 entries of individuals from both North America, South America, and of course Europe, we are going to have more than one practice roster. Basically, we're shooting for 3. There's enough of individuals in the American community to do 4 rosters, but we're going to prepare for 4, expect 3. So in that sense, we're going to try to get as many people playing as possible. Now, the way the rosters are going to work is basically myself and D-Right and General Iro from Ruse and Havoc, respectfully, are going to be going through the rosters and just picking players that we think can fit the roles. Now, this is not a popularity contest. This has nothing to do with it. We are just picking individuals that we know that or we've heard of, in a sense, that have leadership qualities for squad leaders, and then of course we're going to put individuals that can play in the community roles and in other roles as well. We want to get everyone able to play. That is our definite tried and true goal, is to get every single individual that entered an opportunity to play. But I'm not saying it's going to work perfectly. I have a feeling that there's going to be individuals that are going to be upset, whatever. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But basically the idea is we want to come up with 3 practice rosters, potentially 4 practice rosters depending on entries, and then have them play each other, because it's going to be pretty much impossible to play the Euros every single Saturday. So we've kind of like already figured that one out. We'll play the Europeans probably for an exhibition game, which is the big game, and then for practice games we're just going to play different American rosters. Now those 3 practice games, those 3 rosters I should say, are not going to be picked to be the definitive American roster. What we're doing with those practice games is we're just going to look at what is going right and what is going wrong. What do we need to change? Do we need to change the maps? Do we need to remove vehicles? Do we need to do this or that? Whatever. We're just looking at it to get a good idea of who's working well together. If the maps are broken, if there's some broken mechanic, like if dropping a building crashes a server or something like that, we're just looking to see if we need to fix anything. Do the commanders need to be changed? Do the squad leaders need to be changed? That kind of stuff. And then for the actual exhibition game, we're going to pick a brand new roster just for that game itself. And basically that roster will be picked from the individuals that were or in those practice rosters that were playing pretty much from the start. So to make it fair for the individuals that were there from the start and were there at the practice games, we're not going to pick anybody, at least I don't think yet, we're not going to pick anybody from the competitive scene that shows up late and doesn't play in any of the practice games, because it just wouldn't be fair. Now as far as the community players go, that's a little bit different. We're doing that off a little bit different of a system because, again, they're not players that we have direct control over, and not that we have direct control over anyone, but it's not the sense that we have control over individuals in the community. We can say, look, we need you there at these times. At least with the competitive players, we know who they are, we know how to work with them. Most of everyone in the competitive scene knows each other. So that's the goal with that. And then as far as the exhibition league goes, after that exhibition game, we're either going to pick new American rosters and have them play each other every week, 32v32, and go from there, basically, with that. After the first exhibition game, which is probably going to be sometime after the holidays, we haven't figured out a date yet, it's going to start the 32v32 season. Now, there's more ideas on this, but I'll probably have to go into more detail about it in another video. But the second thing, and this is the thing that I think competitive players are at least should be a little bit happy about, is that we want to start a competitive league with LvL itself. Now this is an idea we haven't really discussed with them yet, so it's all tentative in nature, but in the sense we want to really bring the competitive teams together in a game battles like system, except it's not run by people who don't play the game. It's going to be run by individuals who actually play the game, who are either separated from teams or have no affiliation with teams, and it's going to be like a very fair system. The rule set is going to be pretty fair. We imagine that we want to get all the competitive leaders to get together and Brady's just iron out a rule set. It's how they do it in Call of Duty. It's the same thing we do it here. We're not going to decide the rule set behind a closed door of 3 people. We really want to get the rule set from all the comp players and see what they want in the game and then put it in there. Same thing for map list. If a map is unbalanced, say like Shanghai Domination or Defuse with that rooftop on there, and competitive teams don't want to play or want to ban the roof, we're just going to remove the map from the rotation. I believe that map and Zavad, I think, are 2 maps with rooftops on it that I know a lot of competitive players don't like playing on, simply because there will be teams or individuals on teams that will just go on that roof and really not play. Now, again, I have no problem with the rooftop, but I know a lot of people do. So that's one of the things. But that's up in the air. We don't know exactly how that's going to go yet, but that's the rough idea. I'll have more information hopefully by next week when I do another video. So stay tuned for that. Again, I appreciate Chiney giving me his footage. Excellent footage. I'll have the links to everything you want below, the LvL platoon if you guys want to be a part of it, the signups. We haven't closed the signups yet. I don't think the signups won't get closed probably until the first practice game. After that first practice game, whenever it is announced, then I'm definitely probably going to close the signups. But until then, sign up, get your friends in on it, whatever. I appreciate all you guys joining me, and that is pretty much it for me. I love you all. Peace.